Support for Talking Town is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Hold up, fellas. I don't think we've quite understood what I'm talking about here. We've gone years in the UK without using the right tools for the job. Long gone are the days of a razor blade in the mirror. No more shall we look like Sideshow Bob down there. Manscaped have redesigned the electric trimmer. Their engineering team have perfected the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created and have just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 in the UK. Their third generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents because nobody wants a bloodbath in the bathroom. Did I tell you it's got waterproof technology so you can dim those lights, get yourself in the shower and groom to your heart's content? Whatever you do, however you do it with Manscaped's Lawnmower 3.0, and don't forget, you can get 20% off and free delivery with the code TT. Manscaped.com. Make your testes their besties. My friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to this, a very special evening. I'm your host, Martin, the Governor Lambert, and I'm coming to you, as always, live from my house. But we're doing it very so differently tonight because I'm trying to get through the gremlins and work through the kinks ahead of our return to live football and back up Portman Road. So I'm using some of the equipment we've got to see how we get on, what needs work, and what doesn't need work. We've done two shows live in the field. One yesterday before the Q&A, which is really good. I really enjoyed doing it live, and I know Crunch does. Two people can talk for England, aren't we? Let's be brutally honest. But yeah, the Q&A itself was absolutely. Am I in the basement? Says Stephen Perry. I don't have a basement, Steve. I'm not that rich, sadly. But no, we don't have a basement. Don't forget, you can support us through Ko-Fi. If you want to get me that basement, I'm not sure I'll get enough donations there, but there we go. But yeah, through Ko-Fi. Links is in the description, in the chat. I'll drop it through the show. Apologies for being late this evening. Things out of our control. For once, I was not late. I was here on time. In fact, I was early. I was playing the intros, and I still played the wrong one. I'm not sure if anybody noticed Butt Crunch. He notices everything. But yes, I did play the wrong one. Oh, Matt did notice as well. Oh, he did notice. Oh, brilliant. Sorry, Matt. I missed you off. Ever so sorry. I am hoping to get to Millwall tomorrow. So if you are going, I will be in the fan zone if I do make it. So come and say hello. Get yourself on camera. We'll grab some thoughts before the game. We'll grab some thoughts after the game. If you're watching this back, don't forget to hit subscribe. Or you can listen to us back on all podcast platforms. Colin Plum, looking good. Martin Lambert. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm keeping up the fake tan, as somebody called it. How dare they call it fake tan? He looks far, far too good for that. Right. We've got a very special guest this evening. He's, of course, an ex-ITFC. He's a legend of our football club. He's on the mural, I believe, which is absolutely fantastic. Joining me this evening, because I'll be ducking out to play with some controls behind the scenes. So I'm kind of producing it tonight, if you like. I'm all about giving the guys and girls on this platform the freedom to make their stuff. I may pay the bills, but it's a fan platform, and I like to give them every chance to just do their stuff. And I'll be playing behind the scenes with some technology, seeing what works, what doesn't work. So if things do go awry at times, I do apologise. I am not trying to purposely make it go wrong. But here they come. The boys are back in town to save time. Although perhaps time was my friend this evening, although I didn't think it would be, I have combined their intros. So here we go. Do you think I have a
That's
future?
not for me. That's not for me. It's giving me a headache.
That was just a racket.
What's going on there?
Do you think I've got a future as a a musical DJ remix
on the decks?
No, you don't.
No,
in the bin. In the bin. Governor in the bin with his mixing decks.
That's a shame. I was really enjoying that this afternoon, playing around with what I could and couldn't. No, I just quickly mashed it together, try and save a bit of time. But as I said, time is actually on my side. Matthew, it's nice to be on a show with you since last Sunday. I know we're doing it again this weekend. It's the best show in town, I know. But you've had 5 days away with the family. First things first, I think the first question that people at home will want to know is, after 5 days with you, do they still like you?
Well, they had to, because I was driving. They had no chance. Had no choice, did they? But,
we love you here.
It was good. We went to Centre Parks, done plenty of swimming, went down a few flumes. It's all good.
I'll tell you what I did like. When you sent that video of Stanley driving the little Land Rover, that was quality.
Yeah, off-roaders, little Jeeps.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was decent, that. Yeah, it was a disaster last time.
Did you get in one?
Believe it or not, I couldn't fit in those. I couldn't fit in them.
Duncan with a fantastic comment here. Good evening, one and all. I subscribed on Ko-Fi, and good evening, Frank Yallop. Also, thank you very much, Duncan. You can. That is an absolute legend. Part of the fifth stand now. I know you like that in the intro crunch. Fifth stand TT Ultras.
I missed it on Tuesday, and then very good fifth stand Ultras, Matt. Did you see it?
I did see that.
Love it.
I've got to say it. That new countdown music you've got reminds me of, like, you know, when they like cut to the golf leaderboard on American telly, and they've just got like some trees in the background. And they just go through alphabetically. That's what it reminded me of.
Do you like it?
It was all right. I preferred the other one.
But then you said that the very first time I changed the countdown music. Then within 3 weeks you were like, "Yeah, I think you were right. That is a bit better. Yeah, you're all right."
Yeah. It takes me a while to warm to these things. Yeah. Well, I think we had good Wi-Fi at Centre Parks. So I was able to watch that Q&A last night when I got home. They still got Cafe Rouge at Centre Parks, Rich.
But not any of our stuff.
But no, he didn't watch any of our stuff, did he?
Well, it got blocked on the Centre Parks. So I just went off my phone.
Well, it's marked M for mature audiences, so
right.
It's not applicable to public Wi-Fi.
So talking about that, Colin's using a lot of data down in Cornwall because the
I bet he is.
Signal not very good, but he's in the chat tonight.
Yes, he sent me some nice pictures, Colin, from where he's staying. Very nice, very picturesque, coastal.
Did he tell you about the other day, Matt, when he went out to get a coffee? He said he went to get Venetia a coffee, so he's gone in this coffee shop. It started hammering down of rain for 10 minutes. So what did he do? Stayed in there while she got wet outside. Classic.
And they say chivalry is dead.
Good thing.
Well, I got in from Cafe Rouge last night at Centre Parks. They had very nice steak there, by the way, and watched the Q&A. And lo and behold, there was you two straight on the camera. Way days.
I didn't position myself there on purpose, but I did actually get on camera quite a lot. And I actually had a message from Mark Steed saying, "Rocking the away days merch, looking good."
Yeah, well, you were looking.
And Martin had a bit of a nightmare because Martin was sat next to Carl Fuller for 10 minutes and he still didn't recognise who it was.
Well, he was dressed as Santa last time.
Well, we did say that last time you were wearing a blue and white Father Christmas outfit.
But then let's go further. Let's go further. Joey Sadler, new contributor on the platform, making his debut in the coming weeks. Spoke to him for 10 minutes and got a clue he was until he spoke for the question and said, "Hi, I'm Joey."
Great question. And the Portsmouth meltdown continues on social media because they've got that clip on a couple of their Twitter feeds and they are just losing their heads, aren't they? On strings. I think it's on strings, Matt, they call it. Gone on strings.
Just to fill those in at home, just in case people are wondering where the star of the show is, we are. In case you have not noticed, this is what we call filling time in the industry.
We're here.
No. I mean the actual star. But this is what you call filling time in the industry because Frank Yallop is running a little bit late, fashionably so, Matthew, as I'm sure you'll agree.
Yeah, I think you've got the link, haven't you?
Oh, he's on the phone. It sounds like Frank's arrived. We think he was driving earlier.
Yes, but so we'll be going over live to where the Frank is when he joins us. But many people are asking, did you go on the log flume at Centre Parks.
There's not a log flume there.
So a lazy river?
It's a lazy river. Yeah, I did go on that. Yeah. You go on like a tyre, float down. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
You felt secure through the whole week? You felt it was a good week in terms of, the way we're going and coming out of what we come out of?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you have slots for everything. So you get a slot for the pool, so you can't just rock up. So we would get there with like a 3:30 till 5 o'clock slot. I will tell you though, halfway through one of the swimming sessions, there was a code brown alert. You can probably guess what that means, can't you?
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was my reaction, in fact. But it turned out to be a rock.
Ah.
Yeah, it turned out to be a rock.
I bet that saved your blushes.
Yeah, I was on the rapids at the time. It was only when I returned. I thought, why is no one in the pool?
I love that you're rocking the merch tonight. Just to change the subject off of Code Brown, absolutely fantastic. You can get that from our Teespring account. That is in the description. I don't often plug the merchandise link. I sometimes mention the Ko-fi, but never ever the merchandise.
I don't know why. You've got a great array of attire on there. Apparel, they call it in the States, don't they? Yeah.
Apparel, I like that word. It's a great word, that one. Talking about the States, Rizzo's left the Cubs. So have you recovered yet?
No, I haven't. And Baez has left, and Trevor Williams has left. Everybody they're dropping like flies. Too much to take in one day. We think like the transfer deadline day in the UK for football can be brutal. Man, MLB is brutal. Harry's asking which centre parks went to.
I do apologise if I cut across you a few times, Matt. You are coming in and out in my ear on the headphone, so I do apologise if I cut across you at any point. Question here, Crunch. Any truth to the Tom Ince rumours? Now, this is funny because...
I thought that when it popped up today, we were talking about... Where were we on about? I think the governor came into it, and then Martin said... Oh, Paul Ince. And I said, what happened to him? And then we said, what happened to Tom Ince? And then all of a sudden today, there's a rumour.
We speak, they listen.
Tom Ince, yes or no?
Did you start it?
No.
Well,
I think I actually did this one.
What?
How old is Tom
Ince, yes or no?
No, probably.
Not for me.
No, I agree.
He's got to be pushing 30, surely.
Yeah, I think he's 29. He's been around.
So, I mean, that's
well, then again, actually, I thought he's more 34. So if he's only 29, I'll take that. I mean, it's not that bad of a deal.
Hold on a sec. Let's look this up.
Not that bad of a deal. Martin Flory, great question there from Martin. Just a question, Martin. Do you think the negativity will stop now at the ground? I do. But
29 years.
Like all things, and maybe Crunch, you're the best person to answer this, having done certain things in the past that you have done. When things aren't going well, and ambition has been raised, and expectations have been raised, can you really blame the fans? Let's paint a scenario: 15 games in, 3 wins, negativity. Is that really something that you can blame the fans for?
Not really, because that's human nature, isn't it?
Yeah.
When at the minute expectations are like a. When was it this high? Not the last few seasons. We've not been having the raft of signings we've had. More to come. He told us last night. So you go in there, and I do get where Paul Cook's coming from, but you've got to get the results on the pitch. And if it's like Mike O'Leary, I did agree with him. He said if you win the first 4 games, you've not won the league. And if you lose the first 4 games, you haven't lost the league. I'll tell you what, if we lose the first 4 games, Morecambe, Cheltenham, Burton and MK Dons? I'll be getting worried then if we're losing to teams like that.
Well, so that's to Martin's question. The negativity hasn't ever left Crunch's body. Right, our main man is here. So I shall now duck out and play with the tech behind the scenes. I will get a glass of Away Days beers in hand. Keep your eyes out for the advert coming up. Great advert from Away Day Beers, as always. But Crunch, Matt, which one would you lovely people like to introduce this absolute legend?
Where we go. Who would have thought when we first started this podcast a year ago, we'd speak to Frank Yallop not once, but twice. So Frank Yallop Part 2, here he is, all the way from California.
Hey, fellas. How you doing?
Hey, Frank. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
How's things?
Good. Yeah, we're just kind of getting this project going, the Monterey Bay FC. Ipswich Town fans can kind of, bounce onto our website and have a look at what we're doing. But basically, brand new team is going to start, March or April of next year in our stadium. So yeah, really exciting. You can't get a better place than Monterey Carmel. I mean,
so what are you in? Are you in the USL? You're in, aren't you?
Yeah, USL Championship. Yes. Yeah.
So what's happening? Have you got a new stadium being built?
Yeah. So basically, we did a deal with. I think I spoke to you guys earlier about this. We moved the team from Fresno.
Yeah.
That wasn't working out. It just didn't. For whatever reason, it didn't work out that we could get a stadium built. So basically, what we did is our owner spoke to the people around sort of this area, Monterey. He's got a house down here, and basically got introduced to the university. And right away, it's like that'd be great for us, for the students, for being on campus. It's in between Salinas. I mean, people from Ipswich don't know this, but Salinas and Monterey, there's kind of a little bit of a divide, and I think that this is a perfect sort of vehicle to reunite them and make sure they come to the games and support the team. So it's on the campus of CSUMB, which is Cal State Monterey Bay, and we're going to build a stadium. It's going to cost us about, I shouldn't maybe make this public, it's going to probably at least north of $10 million. And it's a lease still, but it's a 30-year lease, so we're happy with that. Pretty similar to Ipswich, where they don't own the ground they're on right now. Yeah. So exciting times. I'm enthused. I'm excited. Got my mojo back, which is good. So anyway, good times.
Yeah, I remember when we spoke to you at Christmas, Frank. You sort of told us you were sort of progressing to this. So it's good to hear that 7 months on, it's still going to plan, hopefully.
Yeah, everything's on plan. Yeah, so as we know, any planning stuff that goes to cities and states and all that stuff is always difficult, but we're on plan, on schedule. Excuse me. So I think that we should be good to go. At the very worst, our season probably opens mid-March. I think the very worst, our stadium will be ready to go 1st of April. So not April Fools, but it is. But
what sort of capacity is it going to be?
It's going to be it's like 6,000, 5,700 to 6,000 with standing room only. So again, it's a smaller market. It's a smaller sort of stadium. In our league, we need these type of ventures because not everybody can get 15 to 20,000 people to a game. So this still works for us. And again, once we get it up and running, you two, by the way, are coming over to see me.
Yeah, I suppose it's a bit like Phoenix because when they started, Frank, it was 6,500 their stadium, wasn't it? And now they've progressed to, I think, have they gone up to 10,000 this season? I see.
Correct. Yeah. So I was talking to Brett. I mean, we're probably going to talk about this later, but I had a great chat with Brett and Burke in the mid-season meetings we had at USL. Obviously, they're still involved with the Phoenix Rising group. They moved their stadium. They sort of upped it, shifted it down, added some more seats, 10,000 now. They're doing it right. I mean, they're sort of the ones that everyone in the league sort of looks to, that sort of forward thinking and want to be sort of like Phoenix Rising. I think that's a good thing. So I do know that they're packing out that stadium. Not midweek's a tough one, but definitely on the weekends they pack it out, do a great job, good team, they're winning a lot. So I feel the same things are going to be coming to Ipswich.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell us, Frank, what kind of, because we're kind of new to that USL and knowing who Phoenix Rising is, what kind of reputation do they have in soccer in the States? Like an up and coming thing? Very good.
Yeah. So there's probably two teams that most of the MLS teams that sort of look down towards our league. They look at Phoenix and they look at Tampa. So Tampa Bay Rowdies, great job over there. That's in the East, so I don't get to see much of them sort of around here. But Phoenix Rising is really a team that's done it right. They've not spent crazy, but they've spent smartly, and they've got a great fan base. They've got great sponsorship. They got all the things that I keep sort of going back to. That's going to come to Ipswich is like they're doing right now. So I'm very excited. I think they're a great group. And I think that that team itself, it always wins. It always does well. There's no relegation or promotion over here yet. We were talking about a little bit in the meetings in I was there the last week. Excuse me. We'll see. I think it's coming, but not right away.
Would that be a big culture shock for American sports fans, Frank, to suddenly go in and out of divisions?
I think so. I think it's not known, right? It's like you buy a franchise, you could have the worst season in the world. You get the first draft pick, and it's like, everything's great. If you have a bad season now, as we know in our world, you get relegated, and that's not good. So I think if it comes to our, I'm not sure it's going to go down well with all the American sports. I think it could go okay with not MLS down to Championship, but USL Championship down to USL, League One, League Two. I think that could be okay.
Yeah. Things have changed, Frank, since we last spoke to you at Christmas. We hope you had a great Christmas. That was a very impressive Christmas tree you had.
Thank you.
You were last time. We were promoting that show again today, the Christmas
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we were promoting it again today. But yeah, Ipswich are in a completely different space now. We hear from Brett, we've got you to thank, because you kind of said to him, was it a few years ago, have a little look at Ipswich if you're ever in Europe. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, actually, Brett's a little kinder to me than Burke. Burke's the one who goes, I'm blaming you for all this. So then, what are you talking about? Like, I said, I've got you one of the best sleeping giants. I'm telling you, you get this team going, it will be unbelievable for you guys. So anyway, we talked about it, we laugh about it, but I mean, they were looking at a number of clubs, and I think the friendliness that he heard about Ipswich and the sort of, as we know, right, we're all fans, and it's the feel of the club that they really felt from afar, and only probably asking people and doing their own homework. I don't think they've been over to see the club. They don't need to. They know that this club's going to be, going to be fantastic, going to be the right club for them. And yes, thank you for saying that I got them to do it, which is always good. But obviously, they're going to pull the trigger and they're going to do it. But good guys, great guys. Good to see them. I saw them last week. A couple of for a couple of days, really good, and they're excited as hell. And that's the thing for me. I'm excited because they're excited.
Yeah,
we've had them on the show, haven't we, Matt? We had Burke on, and then we had Mark Detmer, and then Brett popped in to grab a cup of sugar, Frank, when because he lives right near Mark Detmer, doesn't he, Brett?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, he popped in.
He does, yeah. Down in LA, I think he's pretty close to Mark. Yeah, so yeah.
And he's literally bought the whole Ipswich shop, Brett, as he's like shirts, flags, caps. You name it. I think he's got his own museum now down there, hasn't he, Matt?
I'm telling you now, you won't get a better supporter. I know he's an owner and he put it all together, but he loves it. And we talked for, an hour at all the meetings and in between breaks and all this stuff. Going through all our stuff that we have to go through. But he is so focused and so excited about this project. And I'm not going to call it a project because it's dear to my heart and you guys' heart, obviously. But for them, it's like, this is new to them, and they're very, very, very excited. And I think they are 100% focused that they want to get us where we need to be. And that's all I care about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what kind of character is Brett, Frank? Because we've seen like snippets of him in media interviews. What's his personality like? He comes across as very sort of a go-getter, front foot, proactive kind of guy.
I mean, I think you said it all. I mean, Brett's really good at organizing and really getting the groups together that need to get together to do a project. And I think and he's a super nice guy, lovely family. Everything's good about Brett. But he's very, very good at what he does. I mean, he's got projects, obviously Phoenix Rising he's done. He's got Rhode Island. He's got Ipswich now, which is fantastic. I think they're all different groups. But what I like about it, Brett's always the driving force of that. And I think that you can't get a better guy than Brett to, once you meet him, he's going to come over. I think in December they're coming over. And hopefully I can join them. I might be coming a little earlier. I'll just let you know that. Maybe in November. So
cool.
I'll come and say hi to you guys.
Yeah.
But I think you won't get a better guy that's going to kind of, force this project and this thing forward to get us back where we want to get. And I think that he said, I don't want to be in League One. No disrespect to anyone in League One. We all know we should not be in there. We should be in the Championship and pushing towards going to the Premiership. So that's their dream, that's their desire, and I think they've already shown me the signings we've had that, and I don't know a lot of the players, but that they're pushing and making sure that we have the right tools to get there.
It was interesting because I went to a fan forum last night, Frank, with Paul Cook was there, Mike O'Leary and Mark Ashton, new CEO, and it was like Mark Ashton said, now they're starting to. Ipswich Town are a massive club, but for so long we haven't acted as a big club. But now with these people, the right people in charge, in my opinion, we're starting to act like a big club. And I totally agree with you. We shouldn't. No way should we be in League One, and we should. I think personally, they won't stop at nothing. Obviously, you've worked under for them. I don't think they'll stop at nothing to get us back to the Premier League.
I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, our worst season when I was playing. I shouldn't say this, but I think we were like 11th in the championship. It was like not disgraceful, but it was like really disappointing. Yeah, it was really I can't remember the years, but you know, Daly was there. I think it was the year with Daly, John Duncan. I'm trying to think of the year, but it doesn't matter. But it was like, you know, geez, we're terrible. We're not good. And I think now it's like we're actually dropped down in division, and you know, we got to get out of that. And I think that. You just mentioned it, by the way. It's these guys want to get. They don't want to take over a team that's just going to flounder and fart around in League One. They want to get to the Premiership, and I love hearing that. Yeah, I think that the good thing is I think that they're going to slowly roll this thing through, get some good signings, get moving up the table. If they mean the next sort of transfer window to make sure that we can be competitive and move on, they're going to do that. And I think that's the thing I like to hear. And Brett said to me, and Burke said to me, we want to get Ipswich back on the map. We want to get them back in the Championship, and then obviously go for higher things in the Premiership.
Yeah, I mean, Frank, you've obviously managed at international level as well across the MLS. Cook signed these 10 new players. How difficult is that going to be for him to integrate them into a culture, into a formation?
And more to come as well, Matt. He told us last night there's going to be more signings.
I'm going to interrupt everybody here. So I've got no players right now. I'm going to sign 22 players November, and then guess what? They're going to all gel to what I'm saying and all that stuff. I'm not having to go Paul Cook. Great manager, lovely guy. But it's never easy sort of integrating players. Never easy because it takes a while sometimes. They move down. And it's not always football, it's family, right? So the kids are moving schools and you get a bit of a pull from that. You get different things that actually are not easy for players that move. But, I think that, I've looked at some of the signings. I think it looks great from my perspective, from the outside. Don't know the players inside out, never worked with them. But I think that, we're on the right track. We're trying to do the right things, and it's up to Paul now to get them all together and get it going. Never easy though. It might take a little while, but we'll see.
It's really nice. It's really nice, Frank, when in the past we've been sort of starved, haven't we, Matt, of like we've not spent any money, it's always free transfers, and now we're signing these players that other teams' fans are not happy with, other teams' managers are not happy with.
Right.
And that says to me we're going in the right direction. When other teams' managers start talking about it, it's obviously because they're worried, isn't it?
Correct. That's a good sign. I think we had. I'm just trying to think that one of the best signings we ever made. I think. We've had some great signings, but Jockey Wilson, Kevin Wilson signed from.
He's one of our favourite players. Great player.
I think he's. It was like 150 grand. I think. Maybe in our day now it's probably 400, 500 maybe. But what's a signing? What a great. So it's up to Cookie and the guys to make sure that they get the right people in that's going to really play for us. And I always say this is like you've got to have that sort of feel of Ipswich, the not the history, wrong word, but the feel of this club. That I'm telling you right now, if you get it right and you actually can win some games and you start climb the table and get promotion, obviously, everyone in this, within 100 miles of Ipswich is going to love you.
But there was another thing, Matt, they said last night, and touching on this with Brett, because I was listening to, I think it was the Kings of Anglia that you'd done with Andy Warren, Frank, and it struck me last night. Mark Ashton was on about the word culture, and he was also on about community. A lot of like these players signing now, not just coming in to play football, they've got to buy into like work in the community, you know, and that's really important. And obviously that was part of when Brett was at Phoenix as well.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, me and Brett talked about this, but when I sign players, I make sure that they're going to do 4 appearances a month. It's 1 a week. It's not out, you know, it's going to be an hour max. But I think it's very important because, you know, it's like fans love seeing the players, they love seeing the staff or whatever it is going out to the community. But in the end, it's like they're going to support you if they feel the love from you going out to them. So I love the thing of, Brett for sure will have the guys out in the community, you know, from hospital visits to whatever they're going to be doing. But it's not just, you know, I don't want to go out and do this. They're actually going to sign on to that. And I think that's important. I told Brett when I was in Phoenix, it's like, let's get the guys before they sign or when they're signing, just to let you know, you are going to be doing, and most of them like, I can't wait to do it. So it's not like you're dragging them out in the end. You've already explained to them, when you sign with this club, we are going to be doing stuff in the community. Yeah,
it's really good. I mean, we hear that expression quite a lot, Frank, in terms of like, we've got to get the right people in, the right kind of characters. What does that actually sort of, you know, what does that actually mean?
Well, I mean, you know, for me, I will say, I'll go back to this. So every time I sign a player, I will probably phone at least 5 people that work with them, play with them. And it's always like a player, a manager, you know, somebody in that.
That's a lot of phone calls you got to make if you're signing 22 players.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Tell my owner that. He goes, you don't work very hard. I said, what? I'm off my feet right now. But anyway, no. So my big thing is making sure that the character is correct and he's in the right, you know, frame of mind for coming here. It's not like, oh, I decided to sign for Ipswich. You know, I didn't go to, you know, whatever. I didn't go to another club. It's like I want to make sure that they want to come to the club. And I always say to them when I sign them, the last thing I always say, are you sure about coming here? And if there's any doubt, I'll say, I'm not going to sign you, man, because I don't want doubt. And I think that's the same thing with what's going to go on now with Ipswich. There's no doubt. You know, you want to come here and make sure this team, which it should be, gets promoted. So in the end, I think that's the whole thing, that any player that's signed for Ipswich now is not thinking, oh, you know, I'm going to grab a few bucks, pounds. I'm getting North Americanized in my old age. But not come for the bucks or the dollars or whatever it is. I want to come to get this club promoted, and I think that's the players you've got to sign.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, since we last spoke to you, Frank, we've teamed up with Away Day Beers, local brewery. They've got their own Ipswich Cut range. They need to get a Frank Yallop beer in, don't we, Rich?
Hey, where's my beer?
I know.
Robson. I think Josh from Away Days Beer, he will be in the chat, Frank. He's a friend of the show. Don't worry, we can get some over to you.
Yeah.
You better. I'm going to send you the address right after we get off.
Anyway, here's a message from our pod partners, Away Days Beer.
Love it.
Supposed to be.
Awaydaysbeer.com. Proud to partner with Talking Town. For only $14.99, grab your ITFC Legends Pack from the Beat to Hoppy Robson to Brazil's Best and Pablo's Pal. Whatever you need, whatever you want. ITFC Legends Pack, $14.99 at awaydaysbeer.com. Grab it today.
There you go. We could have Frank's Monterey Bay beer or something, couldn't we?
Very, very, very impressive. Missing probably only one name I say maybe missing, Johnny Walk. There's got to be a Walkie beer there somewhere because he likes a lager. Tell you that.
John Walk Scottish Lager, that'd be decent. That'd be a good seller.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, let's take you back a little bit, Frank, to San Jose Earthquakes. Now that's when I can remember someone saying to me, "Do you remember Frank Yallop? He's managing San Jose Earthquakes," and that's when we certainly, you know, he was on that path of being a manager. I mean, is that a difficult transition going from player into management into the MLS?
Yes and no. I mean, when you just go into it, you don't know the pitfalls or anything. You just kind of get, you know. I mean, I think I was number 13 on the list. Not the list, but they went through at least 12 people before I got an interview.
Wow.
And I go way back with Greg Jameson and Greg Elliott, the two guys that hired me. And I kind of asked them, what what was it sort of stuck with you with me, trying to get the job? They said, you never mentioned money, one. You didn't mention how long of a contract. You didn't mention anything about, the negativity of the team being rubbish. They said, all you kept saying was like, I'm going to make this team great. And I go back and I still thank them for giving me the opportunity, but I think, you think you're going to be a good coach or manager. You don't know. I always felt I was always close to my teammates, and I felt always had a sort of connection with the guys when I played with them, and it was kind of a different vibe rather than just a teammate. I felt, if I was a little bit older and I sort of helped a younger player, I felt really attached to that. So I always felt I wanted to do it. And listen, I was lucky enough to get the job, and we did okay.
You done pretty well. Coach of the year in your first year in charge, and you won the MLS Cup, so that wasn't a bad introduction.
Yeah, and we won it in 2003, which is 2 years later. So I won 2 in 3 years. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to let you say that. I'm not going to say anything. But thank you.
You had Landon Donovan in that team, didn't you, Frank?
I did, yeah. So just to let you guys know, in October, I think October 24th, we're getting presented at the Earthquake, because it's 20 years ago that we won the championship. In October, November, we won. I think it was November. Actually, it was end of October. But anyway, so we're going back to the Quakes. Landon's going to be there. All the players that I had, coaching staff, all that stuff. So it feels weird that it's so long ago that we did this, but time's gone quick. But it's great. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the guys that I really, I have a lot of respect for, and they really worked hard for me and did really, really well. And so that's exciting. So I think it's October 24th, I think is the date, but you have to look at it. I think if you look at the Earthquakes schedule, it's the game we play against Vancouver Whitecaps. And it's funny enough, my parents I moved to Vancouver, so it's kind of a weird kind of thing that they picked that game. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I mean, I think he came over, he had a little spell in the UK, didn't he? I think he was at Everton, was he? At Fulham as well?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. So, yeah. Excuse me. So he went to Leverkusen when he was sort of 16, 17. I got a chance when he wanted to come back to the States. That's when I got him at 19. The best thing ever was I went down to, we were having training camp, I think, with DC United down in Bradenton, which is in Florida. And, as you do as a coach or a scout, you're kind of walking around and the U17s were playing on a field that was kind of, over the back, just a friendly. Yeah. So I walked over, started chatting to a few people, and who's the good players? And they said, yeah, this kid ain't bad, the number 10, who's Landon, obviously. And I just watched him for like 20 minutes. It's like, Jesus, he's really good. He was almost like different. It's like when you watch a player, it's like, I don't know what it is. He's different to everyone else. Anyways, fast forward a couple of years, I get the San Jose job, and then they go, you've got first pick of any player international coming back. There's a kid named Landon Donovan that wants to come back and play in the USA. I said, I'll take him. I'm in. It was like, he was 19, but I didn't care. 18, excuse me. I said, I don't care. I'll take him. Because, all the other players you don't know about, right? But I've already seen him, loved them. And, we still have a very good relationship now. So, that was a great move for us.
Yeah, actually, it says here, Matt, it says on Landon Donovan's Wikipedia page, he's also strategic advisor for Lincoln City.
He is. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Correct.
Does he know? Has he got some kind of link up with Michael Appleton then, Frank? Do you know at Lincoln?
I don't know. I just
interesting.
I just heard that probably 3 weeks ago. I think Brett told me actually the land included with Lincoln. It might be just a small sort of percentage of ownership. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but
interesting.
It does say advisories, which is kind of more than just sort of buying in and putting your bucks in and waiting to see what happens. So
he went on to be kind of USA soccer royalty, didn't he? I mean, like 150 caps for the senior team.
Yeah. I mean, you won't get a better. I mean, I'm trying to think of a better. Clint Dempsey was good, but I think Landon, for me, obviously I work with him and I like him a lot. I think he's been the best American player that this country's produced, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, question here for you, Frank, from a good friend of the show, Ashley Bell. Hi, Ash. Hope you're doing good. What was it like managing the bigger names in a small pond at LA Galaxy? Your Beckhams, etc.
How long we got? I was actually talking about this last time. We had an event with a bunch of fans. We just kind of, chucking our brand out there. We had a nice event at a pub, the Brit Pub, which is always nice, being a Brit myself. But it's never easy. And the only thing I will say is I was the first guy to experience an absolute superstar coming to a team. It's 2006. It was, it was unknown. The league still kind of not really sure of themselves at this point. Is the MLS really going for it, or is it not? And then David joins, and it's like, he's a global superstar, not just football wise. I'm talking everything wise. So wherever he went or wherever we went, David was, focal point. It was not easy. I think the big thing, I'm just trying to think, I'm racking my brain as I'm thinking here, but everybody got promised a game that David and the LA Galaxy are going to play at your stadium. So David got injured, twit. He got injured, so he misses like 5 or 6 weeks, I think, his knee, whatever it was. So we had to cram all those games, away games, into one area. So, to say it was fair was not fair. I'll say one thing: I really enjoyed my time working with the Galaxy, and I really enjoyed the fans. They actually were really good to me because they realized what was going on. It's no one's fault, and we got some good results at the end of my tenure there. And then obviously San Jose come knocking on the door, and I went to the management and the ownership, and it's one of those I couldn't turn down. I've already been at San Jose and that, but yeah, never easy. It's tough because David's from a different world, and once you get him into your world, it's like it's a little bit of a schooling, if you like. So
he's the owner of Miami, isn't he? And they're struggling, aren't they? Phil Neville's having a bit of a tough time.
Really tough. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say this, and this is maybe the worst thing I'll probably ever say on this telecast or whatever we're doing. But it's like, it looks easy from the outside, MLS. It is a tough league. It really is. It just shows you they've got Higuain, they've got Higuain's brother, they've got a bunch of good signings, and Shawcross is playing there, and you can go on and on. They've spent a lot of money. They're bottom of the league, and I think it's all about, and you guys know this. It's all about what you get in your middle section of players, right? Do you have the workers? Do you have the guys that are really clued into the club? We talked about it earlier. Do you have the guys that are going to grind no matter what? Tuesday night, we're going out to wherever it is. We're going to win that game. I don't care who we're playing. We're going to do it. So I think maybe that's missing a little bit in the Miami team. I don't know. I've not seen it. I just watch them play. But it's never easy. Very, very difficult. It's a tough league. Higuain said, he goes, I thought I could smoke a cigarette and play in this league. No, he did. It's just a good direct quote. Higuain from obviously Madrid. So, and he said it's a tough league. It's a hard league to really flourish and do well, and it's more competitive than people think.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that comes off-field pressure, Frank, because people are putting so much into the franchise to get into the MLS in the first place. And here they are, I suppose American sport's so driven by brand, it's not a good look for a brand, is it, to be sat at the bottom of the table?
It's not. No. I feel sort of sorry for them because I think, obviously the stadium's fantastic, the fans and all that stuff, it's all going to plan. David's involved, but, you got to win games, right? So in the end, you got to get that right. As we know, I think any fan, if you look around, any fan really wants the team to win. They don't want a loser, and I think that's the thing they're struggling with right now. But I'm sure they'll get it going. I mean, whether Gary's the guy for Phil, excuse me, the guy for the job, who knows? I would give him time, let him settle in, and then kind of go. Actually, I think the last 2 games have tied. I think they've had 2 draws in a row, so maybe he's starting to kind of resonate and get going. And you can always make the playoffs in MLS if you're not too far behind, but you're close.
But when you came to San Jose manager, Frank, I mean, me and Rich were discussing this earlier. We always think John Lyall is a very underrated Ipswich manager.
Yes.
You know, because he came in, got us promoted, got us into that first Premier League, of course, which he played in. Was there any kind of hallmarks, characteristics from his personality and his coaching style that you took into your own career?
Yeah. Yes, I would say I have. Bobby Robson's a huge person that I really, really admired, and I really wanted to sort of emulate, if you like, as a manager. You can't do it because he's the greatest that's ever done it. But John Lyall was very similar to Bobby Robson. And I think that they had the same principles, same sort of work ethic, same don't get too high, don't get too low if you lose. I'm going to give you an instruction and off you go. We'll talk about it after the game, but I'm not going to really, sort of micromanage you. John was very similar to Bobby, I thought. And he allowed us to express ourselves, just to let you know, I was thinking about going to North America and what stuff. I was talking to John Lyall about it. And he said, listen, if you want to stay here, I'll give you a 4-year contract because we love you. We'd love you to stay here. We want you to be part of what we're doing moving forward. If you don't want to, no problem. So says it all right there. I mean, fantastic guy and a very, very bright soccer mind.
I always remember.
Go on, man.
I was going to say, Rich, I always remember an interview I read of him. I think it was an interview I read. And he said, my door is always open as a manager. And if a player's got a problem, come and talk to me about it because it won't be new to me. I've been in football so long, I've heard it before. That's always resonated with me, that.
Definitely. I mean, I'll just go a quick story. Way back, Bobby Robson signed me as a 16-year-old kid. He knew my parents lived in Canada. So every Monday morning, I would go into his office at 8 o'clock and I'd phone my mum and dad. And he'd say, you pick the phone up, phone your mum and dad, make sure they know you're safe, or not safe, but, well taken care of.
Yeah.
That was Bobby Robson. So, every Monday I would go in and, I wouldn't be late because he'd definitely have a go at me if I was late, just late.
Why did he decide to step away, Frank? Because when we got promoted, obviously, then he sort of handed the reins over sort of to Mick McGivern, didn't he, and took a back seat?
Great question. I don't know. I think maybe health. I don't know. I really don't. I think, John's been in the business for the longest time. Fantastic at West Ham, and obviously did a fantastic job for us, getting us promoted. And I thought our style of football was great under John. I loved playing for John. I don't know. It's a great question. I don't know. Maybe it was health. Maybe it was just that I've had enough, or I don't know.
Yeah.
It's still my favourite season, that, Matt. Sort of growing up, I was 15, 16 and then, Frank, and we won the league. I still think that team is massively underrated. I don't think it gets the credit that it deserves.
I agree. I mean, you look at the Tomo at left back. I think try and find me a better left back than that in that era at that time. Thunderous left foot shooting, obviously shooting or free kicks, but just a good player and a great guy. You had Linney, we had I think Brian, was it Gailey? I'm trying to think of the centre backs. Walkie.
Yeah, Walkie came in, didn't he? Because I think he wasn't with us, and then I think we spoke about this last time. Tony Humes got injured. I think he broke his arm at Newcastle away. Walkie was training with us, and then I think he signed on, didn't he? Yeah. And then he got player of the year at the end of the season, didn't he, playing centre back? Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, talk about one of the best players ever. Just had a great guy too. Walkie. It's just like, jeez, he makes it look easy, and it's like it's very difficult to be as good as he is. But yeah, Walkie, Linney, I'm trying to think that. I mean, Milts and freaking Dawes and
Stevie Wynn,
Chrissy Kay, and all the gang, right? Brilliant. And we had a great spirit. We all really liked each other, which is great. Socially we would hang out and make sure that everyone's taken care of. Nobody was sort of left out, and I think that was a big part of it. I feel a little bit jaded because right at that time we were doing a World Cup qualifying, and Craig managed to get back into the team. I could never get back into the team because we'd been gone for 3 weeks. And listen, Mickey Stockwell, fantastic, love the guy, great player. But Mickey played right back, and all of a sudden I'm like, I can't get a game here. I think I played about 15 to maybe 18 games that season. We got promoted, so you're always a little bit. Hey, I love the club, But was I a part of us getting promoted? Maybe, I'd like to be more a part of it, but I understand why. But great group of guys, great. I mean, we'd love that next year, wouldn't we?
I was just thinking, that's something to replicate, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. That's still the only time I've seen the senior team lift a trophy at Portman Road, Rich.
And obviously now, Frank, with the Cobbold stands had a bit of a revamp. They've got the picture of, I think it's Walkie, Milton, Kilwarmere and Dazelles on the mural, and actually you're on the mural as well.
You're on there.
Listen, I was on the first one because someone sent it to me. Who is it? What is he? Brother-in-law? Can't remember. It doesn't matter. A relative, my wife's relative, sent me the first one they put up. The thing is, the first one, there was Maris, obviously Maris. God rest his soul. That was sad news, by the way. Really sad. He's a fantastic guy, by the way. But anyway, so Maris, I think it was Mickey Mills, there's Righty, and then my little mug was sort of stuck on the side, down below to the right. I was like, at least I'm on with the few legends there. I'll tell you, I'll take it. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned pulled out, Frank. So that's a good way to. He had a good career in the MLS himself, didn't he? In terms of going over and being a coach and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. So every time I went to see Stevie Nicol and Maris, we had a great time. He's a terrific guy. Very underrated at his job. He was very good at obviously coaching, but I think being a pundit was actually when he started to do that stuff at ESPN over here. He did a really, really, really good job, and I think that that's what I miss him for. Seeing him on TV, great character. You could hear his laugh from 80 miles away. Just a really nice guy, always upbeat. Very sad to hear that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rich, it took me by surprise really when to see the reaction for Paul on social media, because he's so close to Ipswich. We feel like he's almost in like his Ipswich Town bubble. But as you mentioned, Frank, there was ESPN doing a tribute to him, and I was like, it took my breath away a little bit, really.
Yeah, if you watch ESPN, with Shaka Hislop, the presenter, you got a couple other guys on there. It's like I cried. It was like they loved him. So what you don't know is like what you don't know, right? So he's obviously gone and really put his mark on other people's lives. They loved him, and you don't know about that until you hear about it when obviously sadly he passes on. But it was a sad day. I've been keeping in contact with Russell Osman, Aussie, about Maris. So that was really sad, and I was very upset because I don't think I told you guys this. Maybe I did last time, but I'm sitting at Ibrox, about to play. I'm England youth, 17 years old, about to play against Scotland. Just got selected for the England team. So we go in the dressing room. Sitting there, there's a telegram on my seat. Paul Mariner, play your normal game, Frankie. Good luck.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
It's great. Those little touches, eh? It's fantastic.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Look, Frank, we're not going to keep you too long. Blimey. Is that your? Who's that, Rich?
Only Suzanne coming home.
Hey, it's not my dog.
I've got a cat, so it's not me. But tell us a little bit about going on to be the Canada boss, Frank, because you've gone from the MLS and in some of your international football.
Yeah, it was a weird one because I had so much success and it went really well at San Jose. It was one of those just like my parents are getting a little bit older. My father's passed on, but my mum's still alive now. But it was like, if I can get the Canada job, I can move out to Vancouver. I can be part of their lives. It's like, you think as a coach, it's going to last forever. The slight problem is it doesn't last forever. And I was getting bored, but I really enjoyed the time I was there. I felt that towards the end of my sort of last few games, we were starting to kind of get, I think, a good rhythm, results. I think as I try to build a great team spirit, and I think that we had that. Enjoyable time. The team I left went on to Houston and ended up winning two championships there as well. So I might have actually had 4 MLS Cups. So me and Bruce are even the same. But it is what it is. I really enjoyed my time. coming back to San Jose when I got a chance was dear to my heart, and I think that that was a good thing for me. I really enjoyed that. But coaching Canada, international football's different. You don't have the players as much.
No.
You don't know them. You don't really. You have them for 3 or 4 days. They don't know me. I don't know them. I'm a coach. It's a weird, kind of a weird psyche. And this, I think maybe just to say, Southgate now probably knows his players because he's been there 4 years, 4, 5, 6. I don't know how many years he's been there. But what I'm saying, when you first get in there, it's very difficult to bond with your players because you only see them once every sort of 3 months.
Yeah, absolutely. And what did you make of the Euros, watching from afar, Frank? I mean, it was a great tournament for England, wasn't it? They couldn't quite get over the line.
It was. I was just, and I mean, I'm going out and saying this, but I was just a little bit disappointed we didn't go for it more in the final. It's like, you're in the final, let's go. Yeah. And it's only my opinion. I don't know. I don't know the players. I don't know, tactics. I'm just, as a fan, sitting there, I'm like, go, try and win the game. Don't wait to see what happens.
You scored so early as well.
So guess what? You score the next one, game's over.
Yeah.
So keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep pushing. Keep going. Because pretend it's 0-0. I mean, don't 1-0. We're going to sit back and go through all this time. He scored in the 5th minute, I think. Is it 5th minute? It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Great goal.
Yeah, it's a great finish.
But
it was the same, Frank. That game, to me, it was similar to the World Cup semi-final when we played Croatia. When we played well for a half, and then, like when we were watching that second half, Matt, you knew the Italians were going to score. It was just a matter of time when, wasn't it? Because we got deeper and deeper. We didn't have no out ball. And I agree with you. You might not get another chance, Frank, of getting in the final. You don't know when it's going to happen again.
Correct. Very disappointed. I was disappointed that I thought, go on, go for it. Who cares you get beat 3-0? You know what I mean? Just this, but he might win it. And any game I go into coaching-wise, let's try to win the match. The last thing he was like, let's see how it goes. Even when, if I had to go to Liverpool to, coach my team to go there, it's like, let's try to score first. Let's try to do this. And if they get 1 or 2 goals, sit back and, so. Anyways, I'll talk about
what was always the aim for you, Frank, when you was the Canada boss? Was it to try and get to World Cup, try and do well in the Gold Cup, those kind of tournaments? Yeah.
Basically, I think we did okay in the Gold Cup once we got to quarterfinals. The program wasn't ready quite, not for me, but I'm saying for any sort of forward-thinking coach, because I think we qualifying for the World Cup is huge. Obviously, we have to get into the hex, which is 6 teams. It's usually Jamaica, Costa Rica, USA, Mexico, hopefully Canada, El Salvador, or Guatemala or Honduras. So they're the sort of region we're bouncing around in. And I always felt, when I played, I always felt that we were better than. And if any Hondurans or Guatemalans are listening, I don't care. I always felt we were better than them, and we should be better than them. And I think we should be qualifying. And I finished my qualifying. I think I got the job in May, and I think we started qualifying probably in June. I can't remember and then I had to wait another 4 years to do the qualifying. So in between that, I took the Galaxy job. But I think the big thing for me with Canada is like they don't play enough games. Now maybe a little bit more. There's more money in the program, but basically it was like, I think I said to him after the qualifying, maybe it was like October, we finished our qualifying group. I said, when's the next friendly? They went, we haven't decided. I think it's next February. And I'm thinking,
what?
if they asked me for the job now, I'm taking it. I mean, finish in October, play in February, my golf game would be brilliant.
Yeah. Well, we've had, since we last spoke to you, Frank, we had Jason DeVos on. Told us a little bit more, didn't he, Rich?
Great lad. Yeah.
And I think they had.
He actually won the Gold Cup, didn't he? He won the Gold Cup with Craig Forrest, Frank.
He did. Yeah. 2000, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. He was telling us how difficult some of the nations are. Even nations you even think of footballing nations like Suriname, for example. He said they're tough nations to try and get through.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, very difficult. Well, it's not so much the home games; it's the away games.
Yeah.
You know, the away games you gotta go to and make sure that you're ready for that, because you know it's a tough environment. It's not fun, but you know, yeah. Jason probably explained it better than I did, but it's when you actually go through those games and you get a result, you feel really proud, and because it's tough.
Yeah. Well, he was exactly the same as you, Frank, in terms of saying Ipswich needs to get back in the Championship as soon as possible, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel, you know, I'm only saying this sort of, you know, offhand, but we're going to get back there. It's just a matter of time. I think we have the right people that are all pulling in the right direction, and obviously the fans are, you know, desperate for us to get back there, so they're gonna support it. That's not an issue ever with Ipswich fans. I just think we're in the right. It feels like we're in the right path now. Ownership, I think the manager, the group, the players. I feel good about this season.
I don't think we've felt this positive, have we, Matt, for a long while. I can't remember when I last felt. It's like we're just over a week away, Frank, from the first game next Saturday. And I'll tell you what, I know obviously because of COVID, we've not been to a game for a year and a half. I'm just so excited. I'll be like a kid at Christmas this time next week. I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Well, I love to hear the enthusiasm. That's positive and that's good. And I think that will, you know, shine through the people listening to this. But all the fans. I mean, I've been there many, 16 years. When I was there, you always felt the love from the fans. They wanted you to do well. It wasn't like they're trying to sort of go against you and like, you guys are crap or whatever it is. It's like, we want you to win. We want to be with you. So I think it's a journey for everybody. And I think that, you know, for me, I can't wait for this season to kick off. I can't wait to see what we're doing in mid-season, Christmas time. And I do know that the group that we've got that's bought the club is 100%, you know, committed to making this a success and getting us promoted.
That's quite interesting you're saying about the fan base, because I think one of the questions last night, and we chatted just before we come on air, it's about the negativity of fans. And Paul Cook said, like, how much the fans can sort of get behind the team. And when he was at Portsmouth sometimes, like they say, don't they, the fans are the 12th man. And he said sometimes that worked against Portsmouth. They sort of, the negativity they had sort of come onto the pitch and it affected the players. So hopefully this season everyone can, look, it's going to be an exciting season, but we need to stay calm, because we haven't done anything on the pitch at the minute, Frank. I know it's exciting, but you still got to win football matches, haven't we?
Yeah, still got to do it.
Yeah, and in the end, maybe it's not this year, but if you see great, you know, bright spots and whatever it is, if you see a path, it might be next season. And whatever it takes for us to get there, you know, so be it. But I agree, the patience is everything. Get the fans behind it. But you know, again, I'm a fan of other sports and I watch it. You've got to get the fans on your side, the way you're playing and what you're doing, and they've got to believe in what you're doing. Because if you sort of, you know, you're a little bit fake and you don't really sort of play a style that's Ipswich Town, and I brought it into my teams now. It's like, I want to outscore the opponent. You know, if it's 3-2, so be it. We won. Doesn't matter.
We had 6 0-0 draws in 10 games towards the end of the season, Frank, last year, and we were like falling asleep watching the games.
Yeah,
thank
literally.
you. Yeah, but listen, I got beat 9-0 at Man United. Take that.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Sorry. Take it. I actually played quite well, I thought.
I always remember, just touching on that, I think I went to an evening with Ian Marshall, because I think Marshall was subbed that game, wasn't he?
He subbed in for Lee Chapman, and I think he said it.
Did he bring him on at 7-0?
Are you kidding me? Right? Yeah, it was 7-0 down. It's almost like, you kidding me right now? I love Marshall. I tell you what, hey, by the way, get him on your show. He's funny. Great lad.
Big character.
Great lad. Yeah. We had some great characters. I mean, yeah. Hopefully they're coming back, but yeah, I think you know, from my side, it's like, you know, I look from afar. My first result is always Ipswich. You know, maybe, I don't know, whatever reason I look for Man United's result. I don't know why, because I love Alex Ferguson. I think he's not coaching there anymore or managing, but it's one of those things that stick in my brain. It's like, I kind of want Man U to do well, but I don't, if that makes sense. It's like, and
they've made a couple of big signings, Frank. They've obviously signed Jadon Sancho.
Yeah,
I think Rafa Varane's going there as well.
Yeah,
tonight, I'll just get your thoughts on. Just before we come on air, I don't know if you see that Man City have bid 100 million for Grealish.
Really? Didn't see that.
What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, he's Mahrez, right? Same type of sort of cutting in, and he may be on the other wing, right? So, I mean, he's a good player, obviously. I think England
didn't use him enough.
The Euros.
Didn't use him enough, did we?
No. And again, I'm not criticizing anybody. I thought, just play him. Give him a chance. Like, he's very good. The fans obviously love him.
Yeah.
So,
would you kick him if you played him with them socks around his ankle if you were at fullback?
I'd have probably clipped him, yeah. Give him a little clip. Give him a little clip.
Show him his boss.
Not a full clean out, but yeah. I'd have probably grabbed his hair as well. He's got beautiful hair.
Last question for you, Frank, and Colin asked this one earlier. Do you think England can progress on from that, getting to the final of the Euros and finishing runners-up? Can they go to Qatar and win it, do you think?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think that hopefully we learn from this. We're good. We've got some really, really good players.
Yeah.
I thought we performed. I mean, to not concede a goal in 5 matches in any competition, I think it was 5 games up until the semi.
Denmark.
We conceded the goal. You think of that? That's tough. That's tough to do. So I think that side of things is taken care of. I just want to unleash our power and our pace and our enthusiasm.
That's what they said, didn't we? They said the strength of the squad we have was going to be the difference, with the substitutions. And you see in some of them games, it's like you're watching it and you're thinking, make the change now and go. We've kept in the game for an hour. Now go and win it. And that's where I agree with you with the final. I just thought the Italians. I know Matt's a big fan of the Italians. I didn't think they were a fantastic Italian side. They were very beatable.
They were a 1-0, 1-1. That type of. It's
typical Italian football, isn't it?
Yeah, but hey, by the way, well done. Good tournament. Hey, by the way, great coach. I think we were out coached in the final, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think he made the subs when he needed to. He did the right things. He, whatever he did right. Yeah.
So if you were so you're a coach, right? Just before we go, would you have made them 2 substitutions right at the end of the game to bring Rashford? I thought that was poor management.
Well, one of them hadn't kicked it. I think Sancho had not kicked the soccer ball of football for probably since training the last day. And he's taking a penalty kick to win the Euros. Come on. Yeah. I think you try to get him on earlier. I'm not saying bad, good and indifferent, but
you try to be too clever there, Frank, a little bit.
No comment.
He was trying to get a marginal gain, wasn't he? It probably backfired, like you say, Frank.
Yeah. And then
it is small margins because I know, like we're saying, he probably shouldn't have brought him on. Rashford's penalty goes in. It's a foot the other way. We would have won it because that was the 3rd penalty. We'd have scored 3. Then the pressure's on the Italians, and it changed in that one kick. I thought.
Yeah, it did.
I agree with you. I mean, it's inches away of going in.
I'm still not over it now, Frank. I'm still not over it because I still think that you've got a massive opportunity there that we've missed. And I know people say the World Cup. Look, Brazil will be decent. France won't be as bad as they were this time. And it's going to be hard in Qatar as well, isn't it, with the temperatures?
How many times do you get to a final of a major tournament? You think about it. Let's go back. So England have not been to a final since '66, right?
Yeah.
So for us to expect them to get to the final of the next World
Cup. And at home as well. And you're at...
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're at Wembley. Sorry.
What might have been, eh? What might have been.
What might have been. But you know what? I thought they did proud. They did well.
Yeah.
I just think we should have went for it a little more at the end. But
great. I think most England fans agree with that, Frank. In all honesty. It's great. Well, we're going to let you get on with your day, Frank, because what is it like? Mid-afternoon there?
2:16. I got a meeting at 2:30 with a possible sponsor or partnership.
Oh, good. Brilliant. So, we'll keep watching Monterey Bay of interest and hope to see you actually at Portman Road soon. You can give us more of an update about it.
When can we book them flights to come over? Are you going to put us up at yours?
Yeah, great. No, it's good. Listen, you 2 can stay at my house, no problem. The rent's cheap.
We'll raid our little biscuits in for Talking Town Petty Cash. We'll find some cash. Don't you worry about that.
So listen, if anybody, only the fans want to get some swag from our MontereyBayFC.com. Go there. It's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, have a look.
Cool. We'll have a
Brett
look.
might not be too happy with me because he sent me a Phoenix cap.
There you go.
I'm getting on the Monterey bandwagon.
I'll send you a hoodie. Oh,
Done. I'll send you my address when I get off of it.
yeah. All right, guys. Hey, listen. Great chat.
Brilliant. Thanks,
Nice,
Frank.
Thanks
Take
very
care,
much.
Frank. Good to see you
Appreciate
again.
it.